Hey there fellow adventurers, welcome back to the channel, where today we're diving into the delicious world of Isekai Feast Tales of Recipes. Now, if you're familiar with any EU game titles, you already know that characters are everywhere. And trust me, in Isekai Feast, they're just as abundant. From juicy summons to spicy events, you'll be getting character dupes left, right and center, like it or not. But here's the deal, with so many characters flooding in, it can be a bit of a headache figuring out which ones deserve your precious resources. That's why I'm here to help you sort the creme de la creme from the stale leftovers with our ultimate tier list. So, grab your favorite snack, sit back, and let's find out which characters are worth going all in on. Ready to dig in? Let's go! I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking characters in Isekai Feast Tales of Recipes. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The shadow soldiers in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Bernard Munich Beer, Simon Silver Needle, and Hario Mexican Chili. Alright folks, let's dive right into the D tier characters of Isekai Feast. And oh boy, do we have some interesting ones to talk about. First up, we have Bernard Munich Beer, the guy who looks like he's ready to handle a bar brawl more than a battlefield. Now, don't get me wrong, Bernard is pretty tanky and can definitely soak up some damage while taunting those pesky enemy front lines. But here's the thing, if you've got Alexander in your lineup, you might as well leave Bernard at the tavern. Alexander does everything Bernard can do, but like 100 times better. So, sorry Bernard, but you're not making the cut for our dream team today. Next up, Simon Silver Needle, the backline assassin who could, if he could just get his act together. Simon's got this cool trick where he can even stop enemy revives, but here's the kicker. It all comes down to RNG, and let's face it, relying on good luck in this game is like trying to catch a falling knife. Best advice? Keep him around if you're feeling lucky, or just use him as food for your next fusion project. And then there's Hario Mexican Chili, who's got the spice, but not quite the sizzle. Sure, he can hit anyone on the field, but with no focus, he's got way too much wasted potential. So yeah, upgrade him to 9S and then, you guessed it, use him as fodder. It's a tough love kind of day in the world of Isekai Feast. The shadow soldiers in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Robert Uncle Sausage, Sami Kushali, Midori Celery Lily, Sargon Fugu Lord, Elisa Laffy, and Ember Bluefin Tuna. Alright, let's dive into the C tier units in Isekai Feast. Now, these characters may not be the shining stars of your team, but they've got their own quirks and moments of glory. If you're lucky, that is. Let's start with Robert Uncle Sausage. Honestly, Robert is a bit of a wild card. If he drops below 50% HP and doesn't manage to one-shot an enemy, well, he's kinda just standing there looking lost. He's the definition of a high-risk, high-reward unit. You're basically rolling the dice every time he steps onto the battlefield. Great if you're into living dangerously, but not so great if you're trying to climb those ranks steadily. Next, we have Sami Kushali. She's a go-to for any one-shot compositions. She's easy to get and packs a serious punch when it comes to nuking down enemies fast. But here's the catch, don't even think about putting her in a team that's trying to grind out a long, drawn-out battle. Sami's like that friend who's only fun at the party for the first hour. After that, she's done and ready to go home. And let's not forget Ember Bluefin Tuna. Now, Ember's got some tricks up her sleeve. She can stun, blind, and slow enemies. And if luck's on your side, she can deal some pretty nasty single target damage. She's kinda like that one player on the team who has a great game once in a while and makes you think, maybe I should keep her around. But after the early game, she falls off pretty hard. Her moments of brilliance just don't happen often enough to rely on her long term. The shadow soldiers in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Hiroko Abalone Soup, William Iberian Ham, Thomas Steak Warrior, Frankie French Snail, Misha Ice Soda, Victoria Starry Cake, and Dana Milanese Pasta. Alright, let's dive into the B tier characters in Isekai Feast and see where they stand in the grand scheme of things. First up, we've got Hiroko Abalone's Soup. Hiroko is a single target DPS with a bit of a long cooldown. She can be a powerhouse if she lands that crucial one shot, but she really needs a bit of backup to be truly effective. If you're swimming in dupes of other strong divine units, she might just end up as food for those upgrades. Next, let's talk about William Iberian Ham. Despite being a divine unit, William doesn't quite hit the mark in the late game. He's decent as a DPS when supported, but he doesn't shine brightly enough to make it into top tier team compositions. So, while he's not the worst, you might want to look for something more reliable as you progress. Moving on to Thomas Stake Warrior, he's a solid frontline character, especially good against bosses. However, he's not the only tank in town. Alexander and Chioma offer more robust tanking options that could serve you better in tougher battles. Lastly, we've got Frankie French Snail, who excels against melee heavy teams but starts to falter as CP scores climb higher. And let's not forget Misha Ice Soda, whose unremovable slow can be a game changer in PvP but doesn't see much action elsewhere. Finally, there's Dinah Milanese Pasta, great for buffing and healing a single ally, perfect for early game strategies focused on taking down enemy DPS. Keep these characters in mind as you build your team, sometimes a B tier pick can surprise you. The shadow soldiers in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Aurora Sea Swallow, Yui Cappuccino, Luna Margarita, Lilia Red Velvet, Sky Butter Hot Pot, Shirley Saffron, Avril Blue Hawaii, and Elaine Lotus Soup. Alright, let's dive into the A tier characters for Isekai Feast. These are the units that really shine and make a difference in your gameplay, so let's break down what makes them stand out. First up, we've got Aurora Sea Swallow. Aurora is great for early to mid game because she can silence enemy DPS units and apply bleed consistently. This makes her a perfect pick when you're dealing with tough opponents like Shiro. Just remember, she doesn't hold up as well in the late game, so leveling her up to 9 stars and then using her as food for other characters is a smart move. Next, Yui Cappuccino brings some serious utility to the table. Her ability to apply armor break is fantastic against tank-heavy teams, making it easier for your other characters to chip away at those defenses. Plus, her heals and buffs are a nice bonus, helping keep your team in fighting shape. Luna Margarita is a superstar for the early game. Her DPS is top notch and she's pretty easy to get duplicates for, which makes her an excellent choice for powering through those initial stages. You'll definitely want to focus on her if you're just starting out. Lilia Red Velvet rounds out our list with a dual purpose as an anti-support and anti-DPS unit. She's not essential for every team, but having her can really tip the scales in your favor. Whether you're facing down support-heavy squads or high DPS enemies, Lilia can be a real game changer. So if you're looking to build a solid team and make the most out of your characters, these A-tier units are a great place to start. They bring a mix of damage, utility, and versatility that can carry you through many of the game's challenges. Happy gaming! The shadow soldiers in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Yumiko Gingerbread, Annabelle Tom Yum, Nami Shrimp Princess, Ukyo Bamboo Shogun, Natasha Soul Spring, Uri Blizzard, Jack Roast Duck, Alexander King Crab, Oscar Mr. Lobster, and Medusa Miss Curry. Alright, let's dive into the top S tier characters in Isekai Feast and why they're absolutely amazing. These units are the creme de la creme of the game, each bringing something unique to the table that can turn the tide of battle in your favor. First up, we've got Yumiko Gingerbread. This character is like a divine powerhouse, buffing all divine allies while laying down some serious debuffs on the enemy front line. Her AoE DPS is off the charts, making her a must-have if you can manage to snag her. Just be prepared, she's not the easiest to get your hands on. Next is Annabelle Tom Yum. Talk about a game changer. Annabelle doesn't just heal allies on crit, she also amplifies enemy damage and can strip buffs off enemies. For a non-D/A support character, she's incredibly OP and can swing the momentum of battle significantly in your favor. Then there's Nami Shrimp Princess, arguably the best non-D/A support character in the game. Her damage increase passive is a lifesaver for prolonged fights and boss battles. If you're looking for someone to boost your damage over time, Nami is your go-to gal. Moving on, we have Ukyo Bamboo Shogun. This guy is an anti-backline specialist who can silence enemies, making him a top choice for both DPS and control. His versatility makes him one of the best non-D/A DPS characters around. You really can't go wrong with Ukyo in your lineup. Finally, let's not forget Natasha Soul Spring. Natasha is a revival and buffing machine, plus she can debuff enemies to keep them in check. She's surprisingly accessible and incredibly powerful for someone you can get relatively easily. Natasha is definitely one to prioritize if you're aiming for an S-tier roster. So there you have it, the top S-tier characters in Isekai Feast who can really make a difference in your gameplay. Whether you're hunting for a powerful DPS, a strategic support, or a solid tank, these units are sure to enhance your team and elevate your game to the next level. Happy battling! The shadow soldiers in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Haruki Dragon Candy, Himiko Culinary Feast, Shiro Cat Poop Coffee, Kaizen Shark Sashimi, Chloe Death Choco, Chihiro Golden Dream, Miyuki Macaron, Chiyome Sea Mirage, Neko Black Witch, Brett Sardine Warrior, Nohime White Truffle, Elizabeth Bloody Mary, Mia and Yuri Twin Saints, Namisa Dreamy Soup, Yoshiko Bird's Nest, Alice Blue Cheese, Raven Met Crab, Yamato Take Maki, Michi White Cabbage, Kuromi Pineapple Bun, and Kasuga Bun Heroine. Alright folks, let's dive into the creme de la creme of Isekai Feast's S+ tier characters. Whether you're just starting or you're looking to fine tune your roster, these top tier picks are essential for dominating both PvP and PvE. Let's get right into it. First up, we have Haruki Dragon Candy. Talk about a tank. Haruki can take hits like a champ, splitting damage among teammates and healing himself with ease. And get this, he even gains invincibility once per fight. That's a game changer in PvP. Then, there's Himiko Culinary Feast. If you're looking for AoE damage that can clear out foes, Himiko is your go-to. She consistently dishes out the highest total damage in regular 6v6 modes. However, be prepared to either get really lucky or spend some serious cash to unlock enough dupes for her. Now, let's talk about Shiro Cat Poop Coffee. Shiro is a beast of a DPS with her team-wide AoE attacks and her ability to focus on low HP targets. She pairs exceptionally well with assassins like Bamboo Shogun. If you want to deal massive damage, Shiro is a must-have. Moving on, we have Kaizen Shark Sashimi. If you're into single target DPS, Kaizen is top-notch. He can easily nuke enemy damage dealers, making him invaluable for the late game. Trust me, you won't want to miss out on this guy. Chloe Death Choco deserves a shout out for her ability to execute low HP enemies, making her perfect for burst comps. Both in PvP and PvV, she's a powerful asset. Plus, she's relatively easy to start up, with dupes available from multiple sources. Chihiro Golden Dream is another star of the show. With her ability to ignore DEF, assist allies, and apply shock, she's a top-tier DPS and an endgame goal for many players. Pairing her with Nico can really amplify her passive abilities. And don't forget Miyuki Macaron, arguably one of the best pure supports in the game. She can revive, heal, and apply near-permanent damage reduction, making her fantastic for stonewalling PvP comps. She's truly a game changer for those tough battles. There you have it folks, these S+ tier characters are absolute powerhouses in Isekai Feast. Make sure to add them to your roster and watch your gameplay soar to new heights. Stay tuned for more tips and tricks and keep on feasting. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.